A final question from the both of you. Why hasn't the FDA and the medical community rallied behind in support of medical marijuana? Montel?
Here's the problem. People keep looking at this as if there's just a bunch of potheads sitting around in a corner somewhere. There are people out here, just like the pharmaceutical industry has not created one drug that they believe will work for more than 25 to 27% of the population. Not one pain pill will work for more than 27% of the population. You can take one, I can take one, it'll work differently in the two of us. It's the same thing with marijuana. It may work for me, it may not work for you. It's going to be dispensed through the pharmaceutical industry, through pharmacies, not the pharmaceutical industry, through pharmacies. If pharmacists are the ones dispensing it, and they're the ones that right now have the ability to control all of the other legal drugs that we sell, like heroin. You can get heroin, dimorphine. Dimorphine, heroin, the exact same drug. How about Talwin, one molecule off from heroin? You can get that, clearly. How about Oxycontin? Now that's the opiate-based drugs, and there's a whole series of those. Okay, so if a doctor is smart enough to write a prescription for that, why are we saying that that same doctor might not be smart enough to write a prescription for this?
DOC, the media medic, your thoughts on why the FDA and the medical community in the U.S. have not rallied behind in support of medical marijuana use?
Well, actually, it's well established that the active ingredient in marijuana is a compound known as THC, that's tetrahydrocannabinol. THC, in fact, has been approved by the FDA and supported by the medical community for various uses, including use for nausea and vomiting associated with cancer chemotherapy treatment and for the anorexia associated with HIV wasting syndrome. However, current use of THC is in the pill and liquid form only of the isolated THC chemical compound. Although a few medications, such as those for asthma, are inhaled, there have been no medications either approved by FDA or supported by the medical community, which is smoked. Accordingly, medical marijuana will probably never be approved by the FDA in tobacco form to be smoked. Several reasons for this resistance include: one, there are problems with dosing and the unknown quantities of THC inside marijuana leaves. Two, there are problems with measuring the medical and health contributions made by each constituent of the metabolite mixtures when the THC is broken down via smoke. And three, the euphoric effects of has addictive potential and problems associated with psychological dependence. And finally, four, there are potentially adverse effects of smoke on the throat and lungs. In fact, the jury is still out on the impact smoking marijuana has on throat and lung cancers, as well as on various chronic obstructive lung diseases. So it is for those reasons that it's highly unlikely that smoking marijuana for medicinal purposes will be supported by the medical community or approved by the FDA in the near or remote future.
On that note, we conclude today's segment. Montel Williams, DOC, the media medic, and our viewing audience, on behalf of Hollywood Health and our sponsors, I thank you for joining me today on Hollywood Health News TV, where the story of medicine never ends.
This health education video is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. None of the information contained herein should be construed or acted on as medical advice. The viewer should consult his or her personal physician or a licensed health professional for any medical advice.